Welcome along to Champions League Immortals on BT Sport. I'm here alongside Joe Cole, who's about to pick his all-time Champions League 11. Joe, you've played alongside and against some of the best players who've ever played the game. Give us your goalkeeper first.
Right, first of all, this is going to be the sauciest team that we're going to do all day. I'm going to go with one man, Casillas, And the reason I'm going to go with him, like, for 20 years to be Real Madrid's number one and Spain to win everything in the game. So I've gone with him as a safe pair of hands. He'll always make big saves in big games, so I went with Casillas.
I can't argue with that. Right back, who are you going for?
Cafu.
Another captain?
Yeah, another captain, another winner. It could easily have been Dani Alvarez. The only time I actually played against Cafu was in a friendly. And obviously playing off the left and that, he was about 15 years older than me and he run me ragged. It was ridiculous. It was like, you know, I spent more time. He made me a left back, you know, like just pinned you back, so threatening. And again, with Dani Alvarez, I played against Dani Alvarez and they were like peas in a pod, the pair of them, well ahead of their time. We see fullbacks now playing like them and we used to marvel at them. Why can't our fullbacks do what they do?
They were allowed.
Yeah. But he was outstanding. He's a great player.
So left back, you've gone for Ashley Cole, an ex-teammate.
Yeah.
Talk to me why. We've got some clips on him, but talk to me and tell me why. Ashley Cole.
Listen, Ashley Cole played, first of all, predominantly, we played against him a lot, youth teams, and then when it was at Arsenal and West Ham, and he was outstanding as a defender going forward. I mean, this is in his early days, people were talking about this about him, because he was a striker, actually, he's attacking prowess, you know, which he could score a goal, he could make a goal, but he was the best defensive fullback I've ever seen, and that more so when you play against him. What I will say is, he just had a sixth sense of where to be at the right time. So if the ball was getting played into your feet, he'd be the right side of it, or he'd nick it, you know. And he was so clever, you know. If you got rash with him and tried to muscle him, he'd go down and win a free kick. And
very rarely see him like out of position as well.
Nah.
Is he the best left back we've ever produced, England?
Without doubt. I don't think that's in question. He was, again, ahead of his time. I think what he benefited from, when you think of his education, I've spoken to him about this, he come in at the back end of that Arsenal back four, you know, that sort of, where they were just organised, stringent, and he's just fit into there. Nigel Winterburn left, and he come into that. So he learned defensively, like, he was like a scholar from Tony Adams, Martin Keown, Bold, Seaman, and then add to that his attacking flair. He was almost like the perfect, like a university for defending. He was outstanding. Like I said, having played with him, and then the timing of the runs going, he's just the perfect fullback.
So your centre-back pairing.
Yeah.
Who's your captain? I think you've gone for Maldini.
I've gone for Maldini. Like, again,
he's in everyone's team, by the way.
He's like, for me, the front end of the pitch, you've got Messi and Ronaldo, haven't you? Who everyone will pick. But Maldini is the one. He's the captain. 20 years at AC Milan. I'm playing him central. Most people remember him at left back, but sort of at the end of his career, won Champions League when he went and played central, didn't he? Into his mid-30s. Longevity, leader. Just, again, similar to Ashley in that sometimes it's not about the physicality, he just knows where to be at the right time. Just
his partner? What about his partner?
Well, yeah, I mean, again, it could have been a number one, but Puyol, I think, because Puyol played for the best team I've ever played against in my career, that Barcelona team between 2004 and 2008, we seem to play them every year. So we tested Puyol, Drogba, you know, I seen Drogba just do some nasty things to centre-halves in the Champions League. But he sort of matched him. He was sort of like, you know, they had such great players, but he sort of, he would embrace the
battle.
The battle. And you could, like, similar to Maldini, he was like he was their team. Like, he felt the badge and you felt the passion coming through. He's just a great player. Yeah.
Right, let's move into midfield, where I know that kind of lights you up. That's where you start, kind of, the juices start flowing with Mr. Joe Cole. So who are you going for in midfield?
Let's go with Luka Modric first. Like, in the two, in a deeper position. Again,
I've got some clips of him I'll show him, but I want to, who are you partnering with first?
I'm going to partner him with Iniesta. Okay. Now, them two together, the opposition are not seeing the ball. They're hiding it. But Luka Modric, I think anyone who wins as many trophies as he does, look at that. He can get a goal, although not predominantly. He's not a goal scorer. He's that new modern midfielder, Reid. I think that receives the ball in all sorts of positions. He does everything well. You know, and I remember at times at Spurs in his early days, people perceived him as not being able to play in that central position because he physically wasn't right. But he's a giant of a player. You know, he receives the ball off both feet, calm.
Dominates the tempo of the game as well, doesn't he?
Exactly. And do you remember we played against him for Croatia in 2008 as a young player? And it blew my mind how good he was in a central position. And then he went on to come to Spurs a few years later. And he sort of had just a quiet start. He was playing off the left, off the right. And then when Harry put him in the middle, it was like everyone just went, wow, now we see it. He just, that modern day midfielder, the technician.
I know you like Xavi. Why Modric over Xavi?
Well, I thought I could have had Xavi, but I think with Modric, I think he had a little bit more in his legs. So I think he could, off the ball, I think he was better than Xavi. The thing with Xavi was that Barcelona team was such pioneers in the way they played. Every game, 70% possession. So Xavi was, but when Luka Modric, I've seen him playing for Real Madrid when they've played against Barcelona and not had much of the ball and still affect the game, nick it off people, drive with the ball. I think he's complete as a midfielder. Yeah.
So what about his partner there, Iniesta?
Yeah, I mean,
you had some games against him.
Yeah, we had some great games against Iniesta. And do you know what the mad thing was, Rhea? At the time, your eyes are drawn to Messi, Ronaldinho, even Deco, who was playing, who could have had a shout as well. But Iniesta was just the quiet man in the midfield, going about, he's just ticking it over. And then he'd burst through the midfield. You know, the ball would come into him. You think he'd get a press on, and he just little body feint, and then just drive through the midfield, and he was the best at that. And again, them two in there in midfield. If you'd have said that 20 years ago, you're gonna have a 5'9" and a 5'7" kid, 10 stone and 10.5 stone centre mid, and they would dominate football. People would think he was insane in this country, and two of the best of our generation.
I have to agree with that. But so you've got your two there at the base there. Who is finishing off your midfield? Quickly give me who you're going to go for.
It's the main man, Zizi. Where, like, do you know what I mean?
I knew you was going to pick him. I swear to you, I knew you was going to pick him.
It had to be. I've even my latest hairstyle was modelled on him. But he's listen, I love him. Again, do you know, he's actually one I didn't get the pleasure of getting on the pitch against. But his career, he's the best midfielder I've seen, attacking midfielder. Yeah. And he had everything. He could score a goal, but he had moments. That goal in the final, I think that means much to like, anybody who loves football. If you weren't moved by that goal, that was amazing. It was like the way the ball come down, watched it all the way onto his left foot, and it was just the hip movement. Like
the hip movement.
I loved it. Like if you can't be a football fan and not get off your sofa and clap. That man. But he was a magician.
So up front, we're going to go for your front three. Everyone's got a front three, and I'm just going to put these two in there because they're in everyone's team. Yeah. Messi on the right wing. Yeah. But you're putting Ronaldo as a number 9. Yeah. Talk to me. Why? Why is that?
Well, he has to be in the team, and I'm going to show you who's going to play off the left in a moment. He has to be in the team. See us. I mean, the two boys you just put in are the two greatest players of all time. You know, the longevity, the moments, the ability. They make you gasp. You know, so they're going to be in there, and I'm playing him up there. I think the last 10, 15 years, really. I think he's maybe the 15, maybe 10 years. He's played central anyway. He's not a winger. Like the days when he was a winger at United he was poetry in motion, but. He's going to get, listen, you're guaranteed about 120 goals there. You're guaranteed 80% possession there. Clean sheets there. Don't even need he can get his Cuban on. But yeah, that team. So
is your last player that I'm going to put on there, is this guy your favourite player?
This guy transcends football for me. Ronaldinho, he won the Champions League once, which I found outstanding when we was doing the research. But what he does and how he moved football fans. And look, watch this here. This is against AC Milan.
That's Nesta. Top draw Nesta.
The streets will never forget him, Reid. He's like, do you know what I mean? I played in this game. I've never seen a stadium silence. Like it was like Stamford Bridge had glitched. Like everyone was like looking at what's going on. And while I was behind it, And then this as well, the strength of the man, just to bounce
That's John Terry
off.
as well,
That's John
wow.
Terry, one of the best of the generation. And
that's what I loved about him. In that era, he was playing against some of the best. Like Iniesta was the first clip as well. Like he ain't doing it against there's no mugs he's playing against. And this guy, man.
And by the way, what people don't realise is people could tackle him. Imagine now. Because he is as strong as Essien. He's built differently. I remember a particular game playing against him. I was marking Van Bronckhorst and I was playing ahead of him, and Jose was when the ball comes into Ronaldinho, you have to go with Van Bronckhorst. You have to go, and you sort of get when you're playing that position, you get a feeling of when you can and can't go. Like there's no way you can get the ball. The ball's Ronaldinho. He's pinned Paulo Ferreira like that. Just basically put him on as a rucksack. Van Bronckhorst has run. I'm chasing him. Van Bronckhorst has run there, and I've let him go because I thought I'm not going to unnecessary track because he can't get the ball to him. The ball's coming in there. He's controlled it, stud roll, flicked it up, and then back-heeled it to Van Bronckhorst.
Harlem Globetrotter chicks.
And I was just like, I've got to go every time now. I knew I was going to get pelters at half-time, but he's the one he blew my mind playing against him because he had everything. And his fire, not like Ronaldo and Messi where they had the mindset to do it longevity. He loved life, so his fire went out quicker than the other two. But you can't disregard him, and he needs to be in because culturally he means so much to the football fans.
So listen, you've seen your 11 players out there. You happy with your team, yeah?
I'm delighted with my team. I'll back that against anyone's team.
All right, listen, Joe Cole, thank you very much for taking part and being a part of this. Disagree? Pick your team at btsport.com/immortals.